Today's topic is on literary forms. Hi, I'm Cora Colwell. Awareness of the literary form is essential to a meaningful proclamation. We must ascertain the form of the selection because by knowing the context, it will indicate how we deliver the message. What is very basic is the oral transmission and proclamation of the Word of God. Just as poetry is not read as though it were a newspaper article or a play as it were a sports page, so must the literary forms of our scriptures be treated in a more meaningful way. No one single literary form can adequately express the fullness of truth. Our biblical writers used many and varied forms, drawing from their own culture, personality, and style in order to arrive at the expression of deeper reality or truth. So let's go over and define the literary forms of the scriptures used in the first readings from the Old Testament. Prose narrative. This is a very delightful literary form which explains a truth or existing reality. Great examples are the creation and flood stories in Genesis, Job, Jonah, Esther, and some others. To engage a community, these must be read as if you are reading to your child a bedtime story. So understand the story and tell the story. Biography. These scriptures contain many real historical persons such as Ezra, Nehemiah, the patriarchs, the kings, judges, and are framed in a narrative form and must be read like a good story, stressing the personality and qualities of that historical person. History. These are selections that are remembered happenings and should be read interestingly as you would any story. Stress the meaning when possible and check pronunciations and places when in doubt. Poetry. These are songs that preserve many aspects of human life and traditions. The Psalms form a collection of poems, songs, hymns, and folk music that are generally classified as poetry. Almost always, they are sung. If not, be prepared to capture the mood of the prayer, which could be a lament, praise, or joy. Pauses should be allowed between moods. Prophecy. Prophets spoke for God, assuring the people of Israel that God still loves them, that they are still God's people, and that they will be returned to their land. Often, they are threat, pleading, reproach, or frustration, and the tone of voice and expression should capture the appropriate moods necessary to its meaning. Next one, statements and sermons. These are declarations such as those of Leviticus or sermons such as those of Deuteronomy. They are compiled sayings that are either inspirational in tone or factual in content. You'll find them in the book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Sirach. Apocalypse. The apocalyptic form is full of symbolisms that need interpretation for proper reading. Just an example from the book of Revelation. The great red dragon. What does it mean? It represents the power of the devil and the many forces of evil in the world that oppose the goodness of God and God's people, which is the church. Another example, a woman clothed with the sun. It is interpreted as Mary and the child the woman bore as Jesus. Now, the second readings, which come from the New Testament, are probably more familiar scriptures to most of us, but they require the same attention as those in the Old Testament. Just be aware of the context of the selection in order to express the overall spirit of the text. Examples: Philippians. The tone of this reading is one of joy. Colossians. This is not read with anger or frustration, but should be quite complimentary and supportive. Thessalonians. They are read authoritatively and with a bit of scolding. Timothy and Titus. They are stated with calm and concern. Peter. The tone is clear and patient. John. Concise and to the point. So that's it for now on literary forms. I hope to answer your prepared questions as we discuss further in class. See you there.